Glint and Linqto have a new partnership that supports the concept of democratizing access to gold for Glint and private investments for Linqto. And with me is the CEO of Glint, Jason Cozens, and Joe Endoso, who's the Chief Operating Officer of Linqto. So great to have you here. I apologize for this voice issue that I have, but you guys will be the stars today. So let's start with Jason. What's Glint's commercial progress right now?
Well, we're very pleased with our progress. I think we've doubled all our KPIs since last year. So we're now at 200,000 registered clients, many of which are in the US. We've got, I think, 45,000 monthly active clients. Our turnover was about, I think H1 was like nearly $100 million. And we've got very low cost of acquisition. So we're acquiring our users who tend to be affluent to high net worth customers for only about $35. So we couldn't really be hoping for better than that. And we have a very low churn rate of about 5%. So our customers stay with us for a long time. So we're really, really happy with the progress. I think we've definitely been able to prove product market fit and excellent KPIs in unit economics. And we're really all ready to scale and to head towards our target in a few years' time, where we're looking to have over 1 million users and billions of dollars of assets on the platform. We have an 80% net asset retention on our platform as well. So yeah, we're very, very pleased about that.
And explain, Jason, your product offerings.
Sure. Well, I mean, at the moment, there's with US national debt, I think $30 trillion with inflation high. I mean, it's 3.2% still high. And core inflation is, I think, 4.7%. You've got now interest rates on mortgages at over 7%. And we've got probably an impending commercial property crisis coming down the line. There's a huge amount of uncertainty. I mean, that's excluding all the geopolitical risk as well that's going on in the world. So people are looking for reliability and security. And so what Glint has done is enable gold, which is the most trusted and most reliable store of wealth in the world, to be able to work as functional money. So with the Glint app on your phone and the Glint MasterCard, you can use physical gold that's insured and secured in a vault. You can use that gold as everyday money. So we're enabling people to be on their own personal gold standard.
Yeah. So how are Glint and Linqto working together? And Joe, do you want to start with that? And then you can chime in, Jason.
Yeah. So what attracted us to Glint as a partner and as an investee company, by the way, because they are in our portfolio. We have made an initial investment in Glint and expect to make successive ones going forward. What attracts us to them, or what makes them attractive to us, rather, is the fact that they represent the ability for regular people to use gold as a store of wealth. If you look at how gold has performed historically, it's performed better than any other form of store of wealth as a store of value. Right. And particularly because of the uncertainties of the time we're living in that Jason talked about, that having that type of a reliable long-term store of value is increasingly important. At Linqto, what we represent is also historically the best returning investment class. And as in the case of gold, private investing in venture-backed companies has been really difficult for regular people, individuals, to do. So by coming together, I think what we're doing is we're giving regular people the opportunity to participate in two very, very important parts of their wealth creation program, right? One is a class of assets that has provided historical returns better than any other. And then the other is a store of value that is held up better than any other. And linking together, the idea is that at some point we'll be able to integrate our platforms so that somebody can use gold as money, and when investing, use that gold to make investments in the kinds of private tech companies that are available on our platform, including Glint, by the way.
And explain, Joe, how it's beneficial to be able to invest in private companies.
It's hugely beneficial because private companies, and especially the technology venture capital backed companies in which we invest at Linqto, on a consolidated basis, represent the greatest value in the global equities market today. One need only look at the broad stock market indices to see that technology takes up a disproportionate share of market value. This is true of the S&P 500, where technology companies represent today upwards of 40% of the total value of that index. That's not going to change because the nature of innovation is such that, if anything, it's becoming the driving force of the modern global economy. So investing in these companies is very, very important to any wealth creation program. Our whole proposition at Linqto is that you can capture a greater amount of upside by not waiting for those companies to be available to invest in when they're public. Rather, invest in them while they're still private, because they're still earlier in the value creation cycle, and their stock, as a result, is that much cheaper. Think about Tesla, think about Google, think about Facebook, but think about if you had the opportunity to invest in those companies 2-3 years before they went public, how much greater your returns would be, right? That's a simple proposition. And at Linqto, we've invested in over 70 companies thus far, all high quality tech companies, and opened up the opportunity to invest in those companies to regular people.
So what are some of the challenges for the public market and the private market?
I think right now we're obviously going through a bear cycle. And one of the implications of that is that because liquidity is drained out of the public market and volatility is higher than normal, it makes it really tough to do IPOs. IPOs are the means by which private companies are able to move into the public market and become freely tradable and liquid. They provide the means by which the private investors like ourselves and our members are able to realize gains and obtain liquidity. So when that IPO window is closed or small, it sort of backs up the line of companies that are waiting to go public. On the Linqto platform today, I would say there's at least 10, 12 companies that are IPO ready. But until that window opens and we have a viable IPO market, those companies are sort of in limbo or waiting, right? That's not to say that they're losing value. They continue to build their product, their businesses, obtain customers, gain market share. But the liquidity event that we're all looking for has been postponed. So we're hopeful. There are green shoots in the market, Jane. When you look at the IPO market, there have been a bunch of successful IPOs in the last 2 months, and we think that that's an indication of better things to come. And we're hopeful that some of the macro conditions that are really putting pressure on the market are going to ease, and come next year, we're going to have a vibrant IPO market again.
Yeah, and I think I just want to add as well that what's interesting about Glint, I think, is that it's been described as an anti-fragile business. It isn't just something that can get through tough times. It's actually something that thrives in tough times as people move to security and reliability with gold, which of course is valued everywhere globally, and at the moment has seen a surge of interest across the world.
Yeah.
And you can't have a bank run with Glint. I mean, that we don't lend out our client deposits. They are all safe and boringly stored in a vault, always available to be able to use as money.
And of course, this year we've seen some bank runs, so that's an important point. Joe, talk about the milestones for Linqto this year.
We're having another record year. We had a record first half of this year with roughly 21.5 or so million of revenue. And our growth trajectory is accelerating into the second half. So we think that if I were to provide guidance, we think that this year we'll probably be doing in the realm of 65 or so million revenue conservatively. And we think that the fact that we are very, very cash flow positive and profitable, and have been since the first year we launched the investment platform. So the combination of our growth as well as our ability to sustain profitability and cash generation will allow us to obtain a unicorn valuation in the next 12 months.
Yeah, interesting. And I want you both to weigh in on what's next. So Joe, start with you. What's next for Linqto, and then Jason.
For us, it's just to continue to grow, right? If you looked at Linqto today, we are approximately 200,000 users globally. Approximately 17 or so % of those are overseas and not in the US. And together, those members and us have invested today a cumulative 255 or so million of capital into over 70 high quality private tech companies. So this is an investment community that I believe over time will become a force to reckon with in the capital market. We're unleashing the energy and the savings of regular people and directing them towards an asset class that never saw their participation in the past.
Yeah, I mean, the time has never been better for Glint. We're ready to grow. And so we've been preparing for an institutional funding round, which will see us, as I said before, growing to over a million users and billions of dollars of assets on our platform and transactions. You even have now, I think, 10 to 12 US states who have either passed laws or are working on passing laws to enable gold as money. So, it really couldn't be a better time. So that institutional raise is coming up. Of course, that will be out of the reach of most, investors because we're not yet public, but we are on the Linqto platform, aren't we, Joe?
Yeah, you absolutely are. We've got a lot of high quality fintech companies, and we consider Glint to absolutely be one of those. We have high hopes for Glint's prospects as they grow, and are looking forward to, the next phase of their life where they're going to raise additional capital, including from us, and then eventually make their way to the public market as well. We think Glint has good prospects of being a public listed company.
Well, thank you so much, Joe and Jason. Great to see you guys team up. I've known you both for a while, so great to see you team up, and best of luck.
Thank you. And I just encourage everybody to download the Glint app. Just go to your favorite app store, Glint Pay. Go to our website if you want, glintpay.com, and get yourself on your own personal gold standard. And if you are interested in investing in Glint, then go to the Linqto website, where I think there's a little bit of allocation still left.